Hello everyone, this is Medical Gateway, and in this part we're going to study regarding the structure of hemoglobin and the types of hemoglobin. So let's start. So hemoglobin is a very important protein which is present basically in the red blood cells, and its function is to carry oxygen. So how exactly hemoglobin is formed? So hemoglobin chain is formed by the combination of heme and a polypeptide, which is basically globin. Okay, so it's the combination of heme and globin, or heme and polypeptide. Now, how exactly heme is formed? So heme is formed in 3 steps. Let's discuss that. So the first step is 2 succinyl CoA combined with 2 glycine in order to form a pyrrole ring. Okay, so 2 succinyl CoA combined with 2 glycine to form pyrrole, and 4 pyrroles combine to form a protoporphyrin 9 ring. 4 pyrroles combine together to form a protoporphyrin 9 ring. So this is 1 pyrrole. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. These 4 pyrroles collectively form a protoporphyrin 9 ring. So when an iron is added to this protoporphyrin 9 ring, this results into the formation of heme. So this complete is heme. 4 pyrroles making a protoporphyrin 9 ring along with 1 iron is basically heme. So this is a pyrrole, and 4 pyrroles are collectively forming a protoporphyrin 9 ring, and protoporphyrin 9 ring along with iron forms heme. Now heme along with a globin, which is basically a protein, a polypeptide, will form hemoglobin chain. Okay, so this is one hemoglobin chain. Now the hemoglobin chains are of many types. So these are alpha, beta, delta, gamma, zeta, and epsilon. So these are the alpha, beta, delta, gamma, zeta, and epsilon. So these are different types of hemoglobin chain. Okay, now this is hemoglobin chain. Now a hemoglobin molecule basically consists of 4 hemoglobin chains. So a hemoglobin molecule looks like this, and it has 4 hemoglobin chain. So this is one hemoglobin chain, and these are the types of a single hemoglobin chain. So a hemoglobin molecule consists of 4 such hemoglobin chains. So 4 hemoglobin chains having a single iron, so 4 iron. So this is a hemoglobin molecule. For instance, this is hemoglobin A, which has 2 hemoglobin alpha and 2 hemoglobin beta. Now let's discuss in detail different types of hemoglobin molecules. Okay? So what are the types of hemoglobin? So in adults, there are 3 types of hemoglobin: hemoglobin A, hemoglobin A2, and hemoglobin F. Now the most common is hemoglobin A, which is 97%, then hemoglobin A2, which is 2%, and then hemoglobin F, which can vary in different conditions. Okay, now, so hemoglobin A. So this is the most commonly found hemoglobin inside the body. Okay, so now each if you look here, each hemoglobin molecule consists of total 4 chains. So hemoglobin A is made up of 2 alpha chains and 2 beta chains, whereas hemoglobin A2 is made up of 2 alpha chains and 2 delta chains, whereas hemoglobin F, which is fetal hemoglobin, is made up of 2 alpha chains and 2 gamma chains. Okay, so if we see what is common in all the hemoglobin molecules, that in the adult life, all of them, hemoglobin A, hemoglobin A2, and hemoglobin F, all of them have 2 alpha chains. Okay, now the difference is in the other 2 chains. So hemoglobin A has 2 beta chains, hemoglobin A2 has 2 delta chains, and hemoglobin F has 2 gamma chains. Okay, so you have to remember this the amount of the chains, the different types of chains in different hemoglobin molecules. So I'm talking about the adult life. So if we talk about the fetal life, okay, so in embryo there are different hemoglobin chains, different types of hemoglobin, and in fetal life there are different types of hemoglobin. So embryo is when the unborn child is from 0 to 7 weeks, and the fetal life is 8 weeks onwards, which means 8 weeks till the birth. Okay. So in embryo, from 0 to 7 weeks, there are two types of hemoglobins. One is GOA1 and the other one is GOA2. So GOA1 type of hemoglobin has 2 zeta chains and 2 epsilon chains, whereas GOA2 has 2 alpha chains and 2 epsilon chains. Okay? So in the embryo, from 0 to 7 weeks, there are two types of hemoglobin molecules present. One is GOA1 and the other one is GOA2. There is no hemoglobin A, no hemoglobin A2 here, no hemoglobin F here. So GOA1 is made up of 2 zeta chains and 2 epsilon chains, and GOA2 is made up of 2 alpha chains and 2 epsilon chains. Now in GOA1 and GOA2, if you look here, what is the common chain? That is 2 epsilon chains are common in GOA1 and GOA2. So the difference is here in 2 zeta chains and 2 alpha chains. Okay. Now coming towards the 8 weeks onwards, fetal life. So in fetal life, we have hemoglobin F. The hemoglobin F from fetal. So this hemoglobin F and this hemoglobin F are the same. So basically hemoglobin F present in the fetal life from 8 weeks onwards is basically 2 alpha chains and 2 gamma chains, as told earlier, 2 alpha chains and 2 gamma chains. Okay, so it's very easy to memorize because in the adult life, all of them have 2 alpha chains. The difference is A has beta chains, A2 has delta chains, and fetal have gamma chains. Okay, then GOA1 and GOA2 both have epsilon chains, 2 epsilon chains, the difference in between the zeta and the alpha chains. Okay, so this is how the hemoglobin is formed, and this is the basic structure of the hemoglobin, a hemoglobin chain, and this is how one hemoglobin molecule is made up of 4 different types of hemoglobin chains, and in the adult life we have 3 different types of hemoglobin molecules, where in the fetal life there are other 3 types. Okay, so the most important among all of them is hemoglobin A, because in adult life 97%, which is the predominant percentage, 97% is hemoglobin A, which is 2 alpha chains and 2 beta chains. If not defined, generally we're talking about hemoglobin, then it means most of the times we're talking about hemoglobin A, which is 2 alpha chains, which has 2 alpha chains and 2 beta chains. So this is it regarding the hemoglobin structure and formation and its types. See you in next part.